Folks, hello, good morning, greetings. I hope you're well wherever this finds you, as always. And just wanted to get something quickly kind of put together here for you all to get this out this morning, because you're more than aware, I'm sure, at this point, like we are knee deep into finals week already. So it's currently Tuesday morning, about 10:30 or so. So, as always, I'm going to try to keep this short. I promise I'm going to try. We know how that tends to go. But try to at least cover the bigger ideas and all the relevant stuff as best I can right now. And I think I've done this before, but just a word to give you the context in the interest of time, and that I'm just kind of recording this as a generic for all my courses. So if I'm not speaking to really specific pieces of the course that you and I are in, I'm talking more kind of just in generalities. So anyway, I will try to be in touch with all of the individual sections about the details of those particular courses too. So in general, though, one thing that encompasses all of you, or at least some of you in all of the classes, is the piece I've been in touch about a little bit in the past few weeks, but especially in the past few days, which had to do with those of you who are graduating this weekend. Congratulations, by the way. And so with that, I will spare you all the details. We could do a 3-hour one of these if you wanted me to, and you don't. So in short, I've been in touch to some degree about all this stuff as it's been going down. It's been a show, as you have probably seen. Myself, advisors in the department, the director, the chair, the other faculty, a bunch of us have been trying to hammer this out, in touch with various offices, blah, 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 blah. Long story short is that at least myself and some of the other people in our department who had been in touch with the registrar did get an email back this morning here. And it sounds like with where things are at, according to what they told us, the registrar has completely just shut down everything to do with preliminary grades now at this point, for what that's worth. Now, number one, don't panic. If you're a person where that is relevant to you, don't panic. We're fine. It's all going to be good. I promise. Even though this has been such an unbelievable mess. The quick and dirty, at least as best it was explained in the message that they sent to us this morning, is that anybody who is slated to graduate Saturday will graduate Saturday. You're all good. All the regalia, doing the walk, getting the thing, getting the pictures, doing the show, it's all good. In terms of the diploma itself, which seems to be the hang-up here, ostensibly those who had preliminary grades, which they had asked for weeks ago, and I addressed weeks ago, are ostensibly supposed to have diplomas in their little carrier on that day. For the other folks, you'll get the same kind of thing, but it just kind of has a placeholder, and the diploma is something that gets printed later. Now, not that it makes one iota of difference. I've never, for all the schools I've gone to or taught at, never been somewhere where they actually had the diploma on graduation day. So kind of interesting and nice and whatever that they would do that. But I think 9 times out of 10 with places, you do just end up waiting for the diploma itself a little while after graduation. Anyway, it's not relevant. I guess all I'm trying to say is that as we've tried to juggle this over this weeks, and especially over these past several days, much, much more intensely, that's all we got back. So for what it's worth, I'm happy to try and speak to any of that if folks do have questions or anything else like that. Yeah, that's just kind of what we got presented with. So I put that out there for what it's worth. As I always say, do feel free to reach out. I am more than happy to try and speak to any of that, answer questions about it, whatever. Of course, right now I still have an inbox that's got like 85, maybe 90 some messages in it now that I got to go catch up with when I can. So I'll try to get to that message as fast as I possibly can as well. Hey. Okay, what else do I want to add here? So let's at least try to tie a bow on that real quick, which is to say, if you are graduating Saturday, you're graduating on Saturday. No matter what the preliminary grade thing says, no matter how screwy our Canvas grade book is apparently still being, you are good. I promise that. So for what it's worth. So on to sort of next order of business. So for me, so with you all this finals week, right? At least I think in every section I don't have any courses with a final exam. Yeah, this spring. So really, for all of you all, we're talking about papers, presentations, the projects and things like that you've had in your respective courses. Now, one thing I wanted to add is that Canvas has been a little screwy. Probably that's more me. Let's just be honest, in terms of figuring out how to get things to appropriately calculate and some of that. So I've been in touch with some of the sections in which Canvas is assigning 0 points to certain things and various things that have moved grades around. And I communicated probably not well, but with Canvas gradebook kind of being the beast that it is, I keep all of my stuff still separate from that. I've been doing this I don't want to talk about how long I've been doing this. So I keep a whole separate thing of all of my own stuff, totally separate from the OSU accounts and everything else. So I've got my spreadsheets. I have all those grades. I have all of your workbooks. I have your papers. I have your assignments. I have all those kinds of things. A lot of the stuff I think that's in Canvas, where you're not seeing some of those items, had a lot to do with the fact that I was just taking those Google Docs or those Word docs, those PDFs, and kind of using them largely actually transferring around. Not that you want to know a lot about my life, but this spring's been a lot. So I've been finding a place to live and having to do a lot of traveling, and there's just been a lot. So I've been heavily relying on the fact that I can just, pull your Google Docs or documents, different things like that, load them onto my machine, and just work on them external to the OSU system itself. Again, really captivating stuff I'm telling you about here, but trying to give you some context. So what you're going to see, I mentioned again, today is Tuesday, a finals week, about 10:30 in the morning. What you're going to see today and in the coming days is suddenly a lot of these places where it didn't look like there had been anything, it's going to start popping up like crazy. Because these assignments, papers, forum, like all these different things that I've pulled from the OSU system and I've been working on and haven't been able to get fully updated. Again, I could spend this whole time giving you apologies for stuff. I probably should. But all of that is going to start showing up in Canvas in a hurry because I have those things. They're done. I have points and everything else. So you should see those again today, in the next couple of days, starting to really fill in quickly. And where did I want to go from there with it? Oh, another piece. I think I communicated this pretty consistently, and it seems like everybody kind of knows. But we're trying to be very, very flexible and accommodating for things. I'm far from the only person that's had a lot going on this term. Huge number of you have had incredible things happening in your worlds too. So having that, that malleability has helped a lot of people on your end. I know it's helped me, but no, in the sense of just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The point being, the reason I bring it up is that I just want to emphasize that, we still have these several days now leading into the end of the term, which can mean different things or feel like different things depending on who you are, where you are, and what you're doing. Grades, official grades, like real deal in the system on your transcript grades are due on Monday, a week from yesterday. And so I think that's the 13th. And if you've had a course with me before, maybe you know this. If you haven't, I'll briefly sort of say, I am one of those people. I know some people are real great. Like they get their grades in on like Friday of finals week and they're all done and everybody's off and enjoying their summer. For better or worse, I try to put off grading kind of as long as I can, which is to say I block out Monday. Well, I say I block it out. Summer term already starts on Monday, so maybe I'll see some of you all on Monday morning in another class. But I'll be carrying that grading into that Monday. Not because I love procrastinating and I want to put it off to the last minute. I'm going to do the lion's share of it now. What I mean is, if you missed something a while back, here was a quiz, here was an assignment, here was a something from the term, right? Those things aren't lost at this point. So we have a little bit of time, even though I'm going through and trying to get all the grades and get everything all set and fleshed out for the term. I'm still going to be going back and looking, right? Like in my Canvas, I can see if something pops up in an old discussion forum or in an old assignment, or whatever the case may be. I just put that out there for what it's worth, because I know a lot of people, we get to this point of the term, and for many people, they're reflecting back, God damn, I wish I didn't have time to do that quiz because we took this trip, or I got COVID, or whatever it is. Do it. You still can do it. So don't just think of that as like lost points, water under the bridge. We've got time. And that's where I say, the reason I kind of put out the grading officially until the end of that Monday is that even though graduation is this Saturday, even if you are a graduating senior, you can still put things in. You can go to graduation on Saturday, whoop it up, do the pictures and the family and the food and the celebration, get crazy, have a great time. And then on Sunday, when the hangover wears off, hopefully it'll wear off. I mean, this is graduation. But you can still get up, pop a few, aspirin, and kick in a couple more assignments towards those points, and it'll still get in there. It'll still count. That was about the longest possible way I could explain that, but here we are. Okay, so preliminary grades. Getting things graded this week. Where the grades are with my little portable world that's been going on. I think these are the biggest ones, or at least these are the big ones that kind of generalize across all the different sections here. So in terms of the more specific to your course or another course or whichever course you are in, the details, of course, are a little bit different in terms of what those papers or projects or assignments, things look like. And so I will try to get things out to each of the courses as well that has a little bit more refined detail in relation to that course and the precise stuff that we have happening there. Outside of that, I think in just the kind of general terms, this is probably all I need to do here, even though it's still going to pull me in at close to 15 minutes. But hey, nobody's surprised by that anymore. So, okay. Well, then on that note, since I have all of you here, take this opportunity just to say thank you. Sincerely thank you. I mean, this term has been crazy. I love this. I'm still always getting used to this online world. And so even though I've been doing this for a few years now here at Oregon State, I mean, it's still a really huge psychological adjustment for me. And I'm so more accustomed to working face to face with students and really getting to know people. And it's just a very different world than this online world is. And, whatever. In some ways it's great, in some ways it's not, either when we're talking about face-to-face or online. So either way, the point I guess I'm trying to make is that I still really, really enjoy getting to work with you all. I love reading all the things that you write, particularly, again, it differs by course and section, but in the discussion forums or in the review papers or in the assignments, the different places where, you actually had an opportunity to express your thoughts and your observations and your connections and the things that were interesting or shocking or, whatever the case may be. And, my big regret about this term is that because of a whole host of circumstances that, again, don't need to worry about that all here, but just circumstances have really made it very, very, very difficult this spring for me to be able to invest and have the time and the resources, the attention, all of the things that I generally, I have a huge passion for this. I love what I get to do, but this term I feel like I've not been able to do what I love to do remotely in the way that I would typically do it. And that's the ride you got to go on with me these past several weeks. So that's a big part of why I'm saying thank you, is number one, just that I love these experiences. I love these courses. I love reading all of your thoughts and all the things that pertain to this stuff that I'm so passionate about. And I just regret that I didn't have more ability to work more closely or to engage the conversations more and do a lot of the things that really do bring the joy out in all this stuff. But now I'm rambling, so curtail that. Suffice it to say that I don't, not only do I appreciate the academics and the effort and everything else that you guys brought to the table this term, but additionally the grace you have allowed me, the patience and the understanding that you've had, since my life's kind of been in tumult as we've all been trying to do this together. So I can't express enough how much that genuinely means to me, and I really, really appreciate that a lot. And I know many of you have had massive things happening in your lives too. So it's part of the game, I guess. It's just unavoidable. So for those of you who graduate on Saturday, kudos and congratulations. It's huge. I mean, it's really huge and well deserved. I hope you celebrate like crazy people, because you deserve to. But not until you get all this stuff done, right? For the rest of y'all, graduate. Hey, soon, right? And maybe, just maybe, we'll get an opportunity to work together again between now and the time that you're walking on that stage. And maybe I will be somewhere in the vicinity of sane when that comes about. Here's to hoping, right? But okay, let's wrap this up. Let's land this puppy. Thank you all for, as I just said, number one, for your patience, understanding, and grace that you've given me this term. It means the world. Thank you for all of the hard work, the very thoughtful, interesting, engaged approaches, right, that you guys have brought to all these different projects, these different topics, these different things. It's truly fun. It's really fun to get to see and to be a part of. So all the best to all of you, all the best to you and yours. Hopefully I'll get to see you down the line. Please don't ever be a stranger unless you want to be. Don't blame me for that. Otherwise, you know where to find me if the reason ever strikes. Otherwise, take good care of yourselves. Congratulations. And yeah, take care. Cheers.